This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your homes throughout all day.
Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. I hope everything is alright. We are there we go. We are having a special event tonight, everybody. Really appreciate it. We got Dinosaur, we got Kristian, two of the devs. We're gonna have a nice conversation about Scum. It's gonna be awesome, guys. We got KmZKaMiKaZe, Jon Blaze and Andariho. It's gonna be awesome, guys. Stay tuned, stay tuned. I got links down in the description below if you would like to go check them out, follow them, all that good stuff. Gonna hop in here, guys. Hope everybody is well. This is gonna be fun, guys.
Whoops.
This is gonna be fun. Alright. We looking at Santa.
You want a piece of this, John?
I'll beat you with my head. Yeah, I had to take the pimp seat. Flick Flack, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate it. I sent the stream, I shared the stream out a bunch of different places. If you could share the stream out and all that good stuff, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna try to get everybody to share the stream, hop over to Scum channel, Scum podcast. It's gonna be pretty epic. Got the pimp seat. Rockin' Jason in a party hat. How you doing?
I'm fine, you.
Sat in the damn pizza.
Oh man, it's
Yeah,
flattened.
now it's delicious pizzas now.
It's very scummy pizza.
Why does everyone have a dildo beneath their feet?
Blame that on
I prefer not
Dinosaur.
to talk about it.
Dino was having a little bit of fun.
Yes, this is for to cut the pizza.
What kind of pizzas are you eating, guys?
Cheesy.
Yeah, looks pretty good, actually. It's
Got the
some-
white
this
sauce.
This one's got mushrooms
Yes,
on it. Yeah, it's got mushrooms and pepperoni. Yeah. It doesn't even look greasy. I mean, aka James. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank
Can't
you
you
so
sit?
much for stopping in. Really appreciate it.
I think
Are those olives? Ugh.
If you could please, will you share out the
I asked for
stream? That would
without
be
olives.
amazing. I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Olives are awesome.
Wait, did Dino try to put nighttime? Maybe it would look better with night
Hmm.
on instead of daytime.
yes.
Good night. Checking your pulse, Kamikaze. Oh, your pulse is alright. Good, good. Kill more! How you doing? How you doing?
Oh shit, Dino has no pulse. What the fuck?
Here's where the community is.
He was very
Yes.
nervous, man.
Having a round table. How you doing?
Yes.
How you doing?
Gonna have to find another tester. Oh my god.
Oh, is that some reverb?
He got extincted.
yeah, you know. How you doing, Kilmore? Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it.
I forgot my
I
button
hope
up
all
first
is
ready.
well.
Yes. You can use it.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I'd first like to start off with an introduction. So hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of this Scumcast. My name is Dinosaur, and I'll be your host along with Christian for this week's podcast. So for our first set of guests, we have some of our most popular content creators here with us, and we have, in alphabetical order, Andariho, which is one of our biggest Portuguese streamers for the Portuguese community. We have Dream Reaper, who loves to play on a hardcore server and mostly does his content creation on YouTube. We have Jon Blaze, who is a very popular streamer for Scum, hailing from New York. And we have KmZKaMiKaZe,
Deadly!
the Finnish
How you doing? Welcome to the
KmZKaMiKaZe.
stream.
There's nothing more else that I could say. So the stream will be split up into 3 main segments. The first one will be Ask the Streamer, where me and Christian just get to talk with the streamers, see how they feel about certain features in the game, etc. The second segment would be Ask the Devs, where each of the streamers will be able to ask us any sort of game-related question. And then we're going to have a segment where each of the streamers' chats will be able to ask questions as well. And the third and final segment is just random shit that we're going to talk about, like anecdotes. Just basically going to be talking about anything we want until the stream ends. So, guys, if you're ready, we can start.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, let's start off first with a question. Whoever wants to answer first, let them go. So, how do you guys prefer to play Scum? When you're playing it, when you're streaming it, when you're not streaming it, etc.
Well,
The environment, basically.
I play it solo, online, always solo. I think it's the best way to me to play. I can explore the game, the survival modes. It's hardcore, but I like it.
Okay, so you're so basically you like to play solo, and that gives you what, more power? Do you feel like playing solo on a populated server is unfair?
Yes, I think playing solo against big groups, it's a big disadvantage, but you can survive. You can if you want. If you live on the forest, make bases on caves. But it's hard to play against groups, but it's okay. We can do it.
And then what would you like to see improve when it comes to solo play?
Well, in my opinion, I would like to play on official solo only servers if it's possible, because or solo dual servers, it would be nice. So solo players can compete with other solo players, no, and not have a big disadvantage to play against groups. I think it would be nice if you can have solo servers.
Okay, that's one of those things that would be great to put in a poll and shove it up to our community so they can see what they want most. So okay, KmZKaMiKaZe, how do you like to play the game?
I like to play it in different styles, really. Like, I do love the solo play. I do love the group play as well. Mainly, I do like the solo play because it gives you. I like to be in a disadvantage. In that way, you know, when I accomplish to kill a group 4 or 5 people, it actually feels like an accomplishment. It feels like really great when you get into that PvP fight. You have to move around, have to you have to adapt to the situation constantly.
Okay, since you play solo, would you say that it's unfair to play as a solo player?
Uh, I wouldn't directly say it's unfair. What I would like is to level the playing field a little bit with not having squad mates. Squad name, basically. I think that would level up the playing field a little bit for the solo players, really. Because big squads, if they run in with 10 people or 5, they see exactly who the person is with the name above it. And if you don't have that, that would mean they have to hesitate before they shoot. So I think that would give a fair advantage to the solo players, really.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to Dream Reaper. How do you prefer to play the game?
I'm a mixed player in a way. There are times I do play solo. I've been mostly playing duo for a little while. It's a little bit tricky to come across, big squads. But on the other hand, it's how you play. Um, if you know there's going to be big squads on the server, you could not go to certain areas or just be a little bit more cautious. But yeah, and I also play on different, more PvP servers. I go all around because every server is different.
Okay. And Jon Blaze, how do you like to play? Especially since I know you're pretty fond of the RP server here and there.
Yeah, I've tried it all. I've tried RP servers. I've tried solo life. I've been in big squads before. I think there's pros and cons to everything. Honestly, the game, you could really use this game to your advantage and however you want to play. Solo, my opinion, don't ever drive a vehicle if you're playing solo. You could be real, stealthy. You could get a lot of kills that way if you're on foot, like Ann said, living in the woods. Squad is a lot of fun. You're hanging out with the boys, you're hanging out with your friends, just having a good time. And the role play gives you a little, diversity in a sense. So I think,
Yeah.
the pros and cons to everything.
Yeah. But I think we can all agree when we say that being crafty can sometimes give you an advantage against if you're playing solo against multiple squads. Would you guys agree on that?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just go in a circle. So, what are you looking forward to the most when it comes to Scum? Let's start first with Andariho again.
Yeah, man. Well, I would like to see much more optimization in the game, if it's possible. For when you enter big city, for example, you can see like the game freezing a little bit sometimes on server with a lot of players. If it's possible to fix this little issue, it would be great. Otherwise, the game has like awesome graphics, awesome gameplay. This will make the game bigger,
Yeah. So with optimizations, yeah, the city is one of those trouble places that takes up a lot of resources, but we're working on leveling that out and generally optimizing the game. We are actually working on moving to a new engine, like an updated version of the Unreal Engine, which should help us fix a lot of new bugs and old bugs as well, and give
Yeah,
us
you're
some
right, Dudley.
optimizations as well.
Oh,
And
nice.
our 3D artist team is
Jake
working
Lightning!
extremely hard to optimize the city, as well as add some new interesting and unique features, like unique shops that you can get only certain items, etc., etc.
Nice.
Okay, so KmZKaMiKaZe, what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking for mostly to the survival aspect of the game, to be honest. I love it that when you walk around currently, like if you walk around on a full official server, you constantly feel like you have to like look around everywhere. And I know like with the metabolism and reworks, that's what I'm looking forward to the most actually, because it's gonna be a game changer, I think. And
Yeah,
like
trust me.
I just want a little bit more survival to it and not so much as gun and run. I want to feel constant fear when I'm walking around. That's what I enjoy about games like Scum, because you know you get that feeling you're scared constantly, and at any point someone can just shoot you. Uh, yeah, right now I'm pretty happy how it is right now, but like the more that comes, it's gonna be just amazing.
Okay, great. Dream Reaper, same question.
Definitely a little bit more survival for sure. A little more craftable items to help you survive. And you know, also a little bit more optimization because it's hard for some players. Like if you don't have like, say the internet or something with the optimization it is now, it's a little tricky for them to play.
Yeah.
Is anyone maybe looking forward to some new skills, maybe some RPG elements? That's one of my favorite parts.
RPGs?
I mean, like not RPGs, RPG elements like skills. Some new skills, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely, that would be really cool.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think that will give us something more to do as.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically one of the ideas is to make, for example, one of the ideas we have for food is food would be required by you for sustenance, for example, but also gonna give you like certain buffs
Mm-hmm.
as well. So okay, Johnny boy, what are you looking forward to the most?
So I know the community took a poll recently of what features they would like to see. They were allowed to take 3 votes. I saw that the feedback was really well. The 3 votes that I did were missions, new threats for AIs, and traders. I think, you know, those things are really important to any video game. Having a goal, right?
You're right,
Loading in
Kilmore,
and
yeah,
having a goal. I think what Christian said too with the RPG aspect, you know, having different skills, like, you know, just leveling up or you know, logging in and say, okay, we got to complete this mission today. And then with the traders as well, RP servers, regular servers, a lot of interactions, and yeah, and then new enemies as well, whether the animals, lieutenants on, you know, prison guards on the island as well. You know, those are things that I'm really looking forward to.
So basically, apart from everything else, you're looking forward to new AI threats.
Yes, yes.
What about all of you guys?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
it's very
agree.
interesting. I agree. With
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I
Very-
agree with more AI threats for sure.
Yeah,
Or
like
reworked AIs, maybe the sentry.
Sentry.
No, trust me. When we were doing our play day in the office and playing for the few days that we played, I recorded some footage of a mech shooting at people for 5 minutes straight, even though they were not in his vision.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, they're getting a fucking rework really fucking soon.
I think we could relate to
Recon,
that.
how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Fighting Amish.
Exactly, yeah.
How you doing?
I've got one shot multiple times during those days, and I got really pissed off.
Yes.
Yeah, there's certain questions I'm
Sometimes-
not really allowed to ask yet.
I don't know if I've ever been
Certain
to,
things will come up.
to a high
Sure,
loot zone
fighting
without
Amish.
getting at least shot by a mech. So yeah.
But I will ask.
Okay, KmZKaMiKaZe, if you could change one thing immediately, like if it were to change right now. in
Here you
Scum,
go,
what would
Kilmore.
you do?
I got your
What would you
question
change?
right now.
That's a hard
Like
question. I mean,
nothing new, but what would you change about what's currently in the game?
for me personally,
This is my big one
like
as
I
well,
mentioned
Kilmore.
before, removing the squad names to level the playing field a little bit, and removing the map marker, I think, just to make it a little
That
bit more
is a good
difficult.
one, removing the squad name.
Yeah.
I mean,
would
that
be
would
hard,
be
though.
it.
I mean, as you probably know, the plan is to remove the map at some point entirely, and then have you, the player, gather scraps of the map, and then make your whole map, and then possibly mark down locations where you are, where you've been, etc.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And when we add missions, for example, we'll see how that works with the whole mission system. But you're probably going to be you're probably going to need to have a map with you at some point in order for you to get around. So,
Yeah.
Andariho, what would you change if you could?
Well, I would speak like him, but you know, when you have spawn squad system, I think it's a big disadvantage for other players to spawn near your squad member, squad friend. No, so if I could eliminate this, one thing I would like to eliminate this because, like for me, like a solo player, just
The map will be
speaking
going
by myself,
eventually, Recon.
it's a big disadvantage, you know. But yeah, squad system for me, I would like to it could be adjusted.
No. Okay.
I agree on that as well.
Okay. And John?
I mean, the bears are OP. You guys got to work on these bears, man, because they smack me around every day. Really tired of them.
Damn bears.
No, if the Bears didn't smack you up, we wouldn't have your amazing furious tweets. That would be such a loss for everybody.
Yeah.
No, keep the bears for now. But I think one thing that that could be changed now is the event spawns and maybe new event locations that are maybe outside of the world, like of the prison world. I don't know how complex that would be, but the event
You mean-
spawning.
Yeah, spawn on SWAT
Yeah, you
is
mean
fine.
like instanced events.
Yeah, so like maybe say like we're in this house now, and then we're in an event location, and an event starts. We're stuck inside the event, things like that.
Well, I mean, it was the plan from the start to make those events like dynamic with the world, so it would be a risk actually. It would be a risk actually entering the place. And for example, if you're looting there and if you see the notification, that's your cue to oh shit, get out. Troubles are coming.
Copy that. Sounds good.
And that's why not the most popular towns with the most loot are chosen for event spots, because then people will be constantly under attack by people abusing events.
Our metabolism's coming.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's at least our take on the events. But yeah, I totally agree with almost with everything you guys said. And now, if you don't mind, Kristian, you don't have any other questions or?
Not so far now.
Okay. So now it's time for you guys to ask us. So feel free to come in, ask either me or Kristian about anything. Well, almost anything that has to do with the game. Feel
Okay.
free, shoot.
Do you plan to put locks on vehicles? Like-
Lots of vehicles.
Yeah, like keys, you
You
know,
missed-
when
you
you
skipped me.
get out of the vehicle, you can lock it
skipped
and
me.
go
I'm gonna go back to
to
it.
loot the city and be sure nobody will like rob your car, steal your
Yeah,
car. Is
It's
it a
one of those
possibility?
things. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Like with Scum, we have so much freedom and we have so much
Yeah, this is just episode
creativity and workforce in the office that we can basically do anything. We just need the time to do it.
Nice.
And that's gonna come around when we are gonna rework the vehicle system and how you need to maintain the vehicles and everything else.
It's great.
Probably something that's gonna be related with ownership, so you know it's your car and not just anyone's car. So you have the key, only you can unlock it, etc. Something in that order.
Yes.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I basically kind of want to go back to the last question because I had one thing. Apologize. But I would like to see the inventory a little bit more reworked. Because the knife doesn't go back in its boot and it goes in sideways.
Oh shit, we have a announcing us?
We have company.
Oh shit!
No.
Oh shit, Reaper! Be careful! Oh!
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah. That didn't happen.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just sit back like nothing happened.
Happy Saturday.
Get a bandage.
Okay, so Dream Reaper, you were saying?
Yeah, before rudely interrupted. Yeah, I would like to. I like to see the inventory a little bit more reworked. For sure. I think that it does mess up, players, because if you have your knife out, you drop your gun, and nothing goes in there like, I don't know, right, I would say, and you shouldn't be able to carry like 5-6 guns in your inventory. Especially.
So basically, you wanna upgrade the inventory system in a sense of, like, bringing back, or well, adding the feature where it remembers where you stored a certain item, so when you take it, then it gives
Yeah, for sure. That would be
So that's one of
definitely
your most biggest gripes.
right, right, for sure. And then to go back to the other question for you guys, is the map gonna get bigger? You think in time? I'm saying you guys are thinking about it, but not fully optimized and stuff yet at the moment to make it bigger. Is that coming into play along with taking the map out?
Yeah, the map is definitely going to be expanded, but we want to get to a point where we're comfortable enough with this map when it regards to locations and optimizations before we can even think of adding another map. There's going to be a lot of content coming in before the map, and everything new that we add just puts more strain on the whole game and everybody's PC that it runs.
Right.
So it's definitely planned later down the line, like almost before release, like type of years.
Right. And one more, I apologize, but how about tracking injured players?
That's one of those things I've actually personally wanted in the game. Like I've been in tons of situations, especially with when we added the limping, where I've shot a player and they've just ran away without me ever seeing them again, and I want to be able to see some kind of tracking. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Perhaps something similar to animal tracking, maybe just evolved, so you can see like tracks or blood stains or something on the ground.
Right.
So
That
you
would be
know
great, yeah.
where they're going.
Exactly. Okay. Now, KmZKaMiKaZe, you got any questions? To
Well,
me or to
mostly
Christian, whatever.
I did have few questions.
Thank you so much, Zombie,
but
for
I can't
stopping
really
in.
think of
Thank you all,
anything
everybody,
right
for
now.
stopping in. I really
I mean, at the
appreciate it.
moment, I think like everyone else, we're kind of just waiting for stuff to come in. But there was a question about the customizations of the vehicles. I think I remember hearing a talk about being able to basically build up the car. I can't remember, but is that gonna be something like I know like right now we have the infinite fuel and such.
Zuna,
Later
how you
we're probably
doing?
gonna
Welcome to
have
the stream.
the fuel and stuff, but we will be able to customize the cars, like maybe add the logos on it, maybe change out the doors for more armor or stuff like that.
Yeah, all of those things are a possibility, and they're mostly cosmetic. So what we plan for the cars in the future is actually you're gonna need to maintain the car more than just filling it up with fuel. You're gonna need to maintain it, repair parts, maybe get tires, etc. And the plan with cars, so we're gonna add more functionality before we're gonna add more cosmetic stuff.
That's nice.
So
Well-
like basically what we have planned, one of the things
Doing
is we
pretty
have
good,
planned,
doing
like,
pretty good.
shooting through the window when you're in the car, or the opening door to the car animation, and then maybe using that door as a shield, etc., etc. So just making cars more interactive and more useful than they already are.
You know, will be a possibility in the future to tame animals like
Yes, yes. As you can see, we already have animal
That's really
handling
nice.
in the game. And we just need to implement it. It's gonna come later in development, definitely.
You can have your own wolf or your own bear, maybe, you know? Maybe
Yeah,
friendly
wolf sheep
bear.
or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right, John?
yeah, it would be great.
Yeah, the
Tame
bears
a
handle
bear.
me already, so it's only right that I handle them eventually.
Yeah. Have,
Then you're gonna have to name your character something Slavic so you can ride it.
have a track dog.
Nobody but Slavs can ride a bear.
Not a problem. I think I can pull it off.
Who knows? With the right gear, you can pull off anything. So, John, do you have a question for us?
Yeah, that is really weird.
Yeah, I got
Good
two. The lock picking system. You know, maybe new like digital locks. I've you know, I keep an eye on the forums and the community, and I see like a lot of people asking for digital locks, and you know, maybe a newer system or more ways to lock up your base or chest. Is that something that you guys, you know, are working
That's a
on
good
or
one.
you know have seen?
Yeah, well, we talk about balance within the game constantly, and lockpicking is one of those topics that constantly keeps getting brought up, with reasons, of course. Because from what we found, there's a certain percentage of players who can I don't know,
That is a good one, Stu.
down 3 gold locks in less than a minute, and then there's players like me who can't break a silver lock for shit. So there's a disparity between those players, and we're gonna make sure in the future to think about those things when we upgrade the lockpicking system, so it is gonna be a more level playing field than the current system is.
Also, it's not a lot, so it's not RNG related, so it's more skill related, so you can practice it and be good at it, and not just randomly pick a spot and hope that it clicks.
Will be any changes on raid system in the future, like base? You can destroy doors you can buy, with bombs, and you can replace the door with constructing another one. Is it gonna be a thing in the game, you think?
We actually have some plans. We've discussed it before, like maybe adding additional upgrades to your walls so they can withstand more damage. That's one of those things we've been talking about. And another thing would be
Here comes the zombies.
some
Come
sort
on.
of either system that would
Yes, shooting
pay
from a
attention
car
what's
is
going on
in
around
works.
your base, and then maybe giving you some info. And the
picked
other
up a
one
little
would
bit
be
on
some
that
sort of
a little bit earlier.
more defense mechanisms against lockpickers and base raiders that would help you defend your base better, not just using bombs.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
So,
I
you
got
guys
one
wanna-
more question. One more question.
Yeah, sure.
Will you guys add cannolis to the game at one point or no?
Cannoli.
I mean, it's.
Wait, let
Yeah,
me
but-
write that down. I'm gonna talk to the cooking guy on Monday.
Yeah,
Okay.
but only if it gives you type 2 diabetes after eating it.
I got one more question.
Okay. Fair enough.
Are you guys going to be reworking the cooking animations? And I know you're working on the metabolism, but I've noticed that the cooking is still, it feels a little bugged out. Like it's really hard to cook certain meats and stuff if you don't have it properly next to the fire or something like that. Is that something in the works?
Since Christian is more of the cooking expert in the game when it comes to that, so I'm gonna let him answer the question.
Yeah, I'm really interested in how we're gonna expand the cooking. I've been talking to the developer responsible for it, and we've been coming up with a few ideas. And I'm really liking what we've come up so far. Of course, I can't go into detail, but I think you guys are gonna like it. It's gonna be a lot more fun to cook. It's not just gonna be looking at the temperature. You're gonna have to do some more stuff. So yeah, get ready for that. It's gonna be really good.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, did you talk more about those buffs and how it would affect your character? Christian?
What? Hello?
Did
Can
you hear me? Yeah.
What's the question?
I asked, did you talk about how food would affect your character in more ways than just being able to feed them?
Yeah, of course. As Dino said in the beginning, there's gonna be like some stat upgrades. So if you balance out your metabolism, your vitamins, you're gonna have some benefits to it. So it's not just gonna be, oh, let me quickly fill up my calories and that's it. So it's gonna be more uses for it, especially if you mix with spices, if you have a specific diet, etc.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, do you guys have any more questions, or should we move on to chat asks?
got
The
one more.
missions. Oh yeah, again, go on.
I'm sorry, and one more. Type of new vehicles, because if I hear one more thing about these goddamn dirt bikes, I'm gonna go crazy. So, is there anything new that you guys are thinking about or working on as far as that?
Well, apart from the boats and bicycles and maybe like carrying, like back carriers for the tractor, there's nothing else new planned in the near future.
Okay.
So, but yeah, apart from the bikes, the boats, the dirt bikes, and the tractor carriage, nothing else that we know of.
Airplanes, helicopters, drones.
Space shuttles.
No, come on. Let's be real here.
I got one. With it, like for crafting, what about adding like levels of like different doors, like you did the Palisades, or different levels of durability like for your skill level for crafting certain things that could last a little bit longer, or like adding certain traps on your doors, like if someone were to try to pick them or something like that as well.
Yeah, it's also one of those things we've been discussing how we could improve. For example, when you start upgrading
Roughneck,
your
how you
base and
doing?
getting your
Welcome to the
engineering
stream.
skill up, how we can reward you by giving you stronger doors that will probably either have more lock slots on them or something else.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, if you guys are ready, we can move on to the chat ask
There you go,
part
Flick.
of the stream. So
Ray,
who
Kid in the
wants to go
house.
first?
How you doing? Welcome to the stream.
Oh,
Guys, if
any
you
of our
don't have
chats?
Ray Kid, you
Yeah, sure.
have to check Ray Kid out.
We're gonna
Great
stick
guy.
to one chat for a couple of minutes, then we're gonna move on to the next one, etc.
All right. I got a question from Gabby. What are the next 3 or 4 things
Any
the
questions,
devs plan
guys?
to implement, and how far along in the process are
Iron
these
Lady,
things?
welcome to the stream.
No, it's probably like a
Yeah, B's got a fatal.
That's probably like a what?
Maybe a little bit of a complex of a question. You know, there's a couple of things you guys are, I guess,
That's a good one.
ready to
Lauren.
implement or about to implement, and that are, how far along on the process of those.
Oh yeah, so basically one of our
Holsters.
primary focuses right now is switching to the new engine and getting the metabolism system out. And I've said this before, we've delayed the release of the metabolism system because we want it to be in the most perfect state possible. Because if something big messes up and it's not just changing a few numbers around, it will require most likely character wipes, and we don't want to do that. So basically, we're trying to get metabolism to a point where we're happy and where we can
Rocklet, how you
safely
doing? Welcome to the
let it out to the
stream.
public after it's been tested an infinite number of times with how much there is with the new metabolism system.
Okay.
That is like a core feature of the game, so you really want to get it right. So if it has to be like really good for us to release.
Oh,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, I think like Kami said earlier, that's going to be a big game changer. Do you want me to get a couple of questions from my chat?
Yeah,
Just,
sure. We're gonna do a chat with each chat a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Cool.
Death Agent asking chainsaws for base rating. I know that's a little out there, but
Chainsaws.
yeah, like Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Death Agent's a little crazy.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things that would be nice to add when we add like actual feel to the game.
Don't mind me, I'm just killing some puppets.
Oh yeah.
Bucket killing intermission. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's one of those things that's really
Admin
interesting
tools
and
so
we
you can
could,
actually
consider adding.
Customize.
Oh yeah, I have a
server
question
remote.
if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I
That's a
know
good
this
one.
has been on the mind of everyone a lot. I think it's been discussed a
I
lot,
got you,
but,
Soundwave. I got you.
is
How you
there
doing, Soundwave?
possible
Welcome to
there's
the
gonna
stream,
be
by
a
the way.
fix soon for the NVIDIA filters?
We've been in talks. We've been in talks with NVIDIA recently, and we're trying to get that sorted. But the issue is, and you probably know it as well, NVIDIA sadly is the only software that allows you to change your monitor settings.
Yes.
And not to mention that there's some really good monitors that allow you to do even worse things that are basically undetectable since it's hardware side. So yeah, it's a never-ending battle between us and those types of exploits.
Yeah, it's still not fixed yet.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
The guys here on my live, they're asking if there will be missions with NPCs around the map.
I'll get
in
to
the
questions
future?
here.
Oh.
Oh.
Shit, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was an answer.
Man, fucking allergies. Don't ask.
yeah, while you blow your nose, let me answer that. Yeah, there will be more missions and more PvE content. We slowly started implementing the infrastructure for that when we started releasing the tutorial missions, and it will only be upgraded from there and more content will be added. So yeah, the base is laid out, now we just have to build upon it.
Nice.
Alright, that should be
Yeah, from
better.
what I know, the idea is to implement NPCs both as active communities in the save zones, and for them to give you missions that would also include other players as well as other NPCs on the map. And most of those missions will be likely related to the story, and most of the other side missions will be, I don't know. There's been some docs, but I can't confirm anything
Fetch for
as
items.
much apart from like some basic gather missions. Go to this sector and find this, etc., etc.
That's nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got 2 more questions. One, chat's asking about the sound bug with sometimes with the assault rifles
There you
and
go,
automatic
sound bug.
guns, you get like a little sound bug from
I'm
it.
getting to
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
guys. Hold on one
And
second.
also any PVE, I guess content or updates, to make the game more terrifying. Which I don't know who will want that because my anxiety is always off the roof when I'm playing this game because I'm scared to get shot. But those 2 questions: the sound bug and any like PVE or I know the nighttime you guys done recently to make it more
I'm just scrolling up in chat, guys, so that way I
future
can
updates with that as well.
Yeah.
get some of the good
so
questions.
Basically, the sound bug has already been fixed in our internal build, and
Nice.
we're still. Our sound guy has been making himself certain builds that he could check what else
Prime,
is
welcome to the stream. I didn't see you there.
what else is making unnecessary noise, and we're working on fixing it. And when it comes to the PVE part of the game, well, you could consider metabolism as another PVE element that would focus people more on the survival aspect and
Flick flag.
interacting with the environment more than interacting with other players. And we have a feeling that adding the metabolism system is not going to necessarily slow down PvP, but it's going to make it more challenging than it was before, and you're going to need to prepare more than you ever needed to prepare before.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's instead
Scrolling
of
up,
running
guys,
around
in
for an
chat.
hour, you don't find nobody to PvP. Within I don't know what timetables you guys are gonna do with the metabolism, but 20 minutes into while you're on, you're saying, "Holy shit, I gotta find food. I gotta find water. I'm dying. If I don't find water, I'm gonna die." So that's really exciting. It's like a mini goal you have to set for yourself every day.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got a bunch of questions flying around here.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I apologize for interrupting.
No problem.
No, but they're asking if you're gonna be able to carry backpacks or other items in your hand. Say you got a backpack and you want to carry a backpack, like say if it's empty or whatever.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we thought about adding, but sadly, it's probably going to be part of a bigger package of quality of life editions. So that's the type of stuff we won't usually set aside the development time for against something more important like the metabolism system.
Right.
But when we decide to add another big quality of life update like we did last August, that's probably going to be one of those things that we could consider adding in that patch as well.
Awesome.
Also keep in mind that the inventory is it's in like the backpacks are inventory, so you have to also really detail it, test it, so
Right.
no exploits can be made or duplication methods or things like that.
Right. Okay, and they're asking about more weapons, and also pistol holsters, like they attach on your leg and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you've read our development showcase, but we're actually working on a big weapons update, which is going to include some new weapons as well as pistol holsters and other weapon-related things like weapon jamming, maintenance, etc.
Right. Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of that.
Exactly.
And also Soundwave, he wants to know about more admin tools, more customizing of the server, like a remote control and stuff like that, so that they can kind of modify the games a little bit themselves.
For pretty much almost everything we add to the game as a new feature, we want to give server admins as much control of it as possible, so they can really pinpoint the gameplay experience they want to provide to their players. But more quality of life stuff and newer admin commands are coming.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm guessing he's asking about something older from the game. Like we've made it a thing when we add something new, we make sure that we let admins alter that so they can make their servers more personalized.
Right.
But more of the older things are going to come in due time because we just can't afford spending that much development time for some quality of life stuff and making new content as well. Sadly, it's just not possible.
Right.
Yeah.
How about the features for? I know we recently got the surrender animation, and we got the you can tie people's hands behind their back. How about ability to
Okay.
knock people unconscious and drag them
Yeah,
into
that's
your cage
true, Reika.
and maybe cages? Like
Improvised cages.
like more kind of like interaction with the players, basically being able to like drag them when they're unconscious or stuff like that.
Yeah, we are working on adding for the medical update. We've been discussing, like, for example, if a character dies, it doesn't necessarily die at first. They go down, and then you have the opportunity to heal them with enough medical skill, and that's gonna probably include the animation for picking up bodies. So we can do something if we add a stun, for example, I don't know, a poison dart or something, or poison food or anything else. So the person gets stunned, and then it can go into the picking up animation.
Awesome. Also, I had another question about are there gonna be any kind of camouflaging when it comes to
Yeah,
base building, or
they're
maybe like
they're more
the tents that
focusing
we
on
currently have,
the
you being
official
able to make like
servers
maybe
and
a
stuff like
camouflage
that at the
tent for
moment.
your vehicles so you can hide them a little bit better?
I believe
Because that's
Christian
what the
can
devs
correct
go
me
by.
here. I
They more go
believe
by the official
vehicle
servers
camouflage
than
is
they do
planned, but
any
I
of the
don't know
private
about
servers.
base building at the moment.
Yeah, the base building might be a bit harder since there are bigger base building blueprints, the cabins, the high walls, the watchtowers, and things. So it might be a little bit hard to use camouflage on those items. But yeah, we are talking about vehicle camouflage, so it's easier to hide your vehicle maybe in the trees or somewhere else on the snow.
Nice.
Well, do you
I gotta.
think about bringing the game to consoles like PlayStation 4, Xbox, PlayStation 5 in the future?
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
But those bot
Christian, do you want to
systems are
answer?
more
Or...
for
Yeah,
PvP
of course, we
PvP
wanna bring
servers
Scum
and
to as many people as we can. No matter what console you have. So yeah, the more people,
or not
the
playing
more
with
friends, the more
survival.
experiences we get to hear, the better.
Yeah,
That's nice.
KmZKaMiKaZe, you wanted to ask something?
Sorry, what?
You wanted to ask something, Cammy?
Sure.
Yeah, go.
No, maybe. I'm not sure.
What? Stop drinking and start focusing, my man.
What was the question again? Sorry.
No, did you want
For
to ask a
the
question?
Oh,
puppy
right.
leaders.
I also had a question about are we gonna get maybe more types of bags, like duffel bags for like carrying guns? And
Really
one
choice.
bag I would really like to see is a Santa sack where you can put your
Evolution.
heads in
Mm.
and dripping blood.
A Santa sack for heads.
Yeah, that's very
Yes,
true,
How many
Recon.
heads would you like to fit in there?
a minimum of 10.
SBJ.
A minimum of 10. That's a lot.
Big sack.
Big sack.
Santa only comes once a year.
But only for heads.
No, like basically anything, but I would like to see like being able to have the heads there, because
I'm gonna
it's
talk
Santa
about it
Claus.
right
He's
now.
gonna go give some heads.
Oh my.
Do you plan to put them on spikes or just leave them at everybody's chimneys?
I think I would place them underneath the Christmas tree. Actually, I think that would be good. With a little like wrap around it
Ooh, I got a good one.
with a blood
You
pool
would
right
wrap
next
the
to it.
heads with wrapping paper.
Yes,
Is you
I think that
logs?
would be amazing.
Would you want to do like the Godfather situation and just putting it under someone's bed sheets?
Oh yes, definitely. Especially like being able to put like the horse's head there, everything.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
But there was one thing though about the human trophy though. Like, will there ever be like some sort of
And
like
use this to open a
golden text
VCU lock.
underneath it?
That'd be kind of cool.
Here is Leva Opakis, because that's like one of my dreams to have his head on my wall.
Oh, so you mean like a plaque that you could put onto the stick?
Yeah, well, on the human trophy that we already have in the game that you can put on your cabin walls.
Oh
Like
yeah.
right underneath, like a golden plaque underneath it that says here is Levo Paki said died this date.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that actually seems interesting. Like, you know how we've added the chest naming system,
Yeah.
and then we could probably. I'm gonna ask this on Monday. If
Yeah,
they
I
can
got
copy paste that
one thing.
system onto the human heads, that would be interesting.
That'd be kind
I
of
don't
cool.
know if that would work, but I can ask because that sounds like a funny idea.
That is kind of cool. I got a couple more things.
Yeah,
One of
sure.
them is my question. Will you be able to like eventually go under cars, like hide under certain things? Because I noticed you can't go under cars. You can't go under like certain things that it looks like you may be able to go under, or something like that. Go under beds. You know what I mean, for better hiding.
Yeah, that's not one of those things that we have planned at the moment, but it could be a thing that we could discuss about in the future.
Awesome, awesome. And there's a lot of talk about the bot system. I know it mainly occurs on like privately owned servers, but a lot of people are kind of up and down with the whole bot system, thinking it's really not fair, um, on a server like that. But you know, it is. I look at it a bit more of as it is a PvP server, and if you play on it, I mean, it is what it is. Basically, it's how the admin is running it. But is there plans on looking at that, maybe taking that out or something like that?
As long as the bots are not doing anything malicious, in our book, they're kind of okay. Because unless people start abusing them in some ways or exploiting the server or anything else, we don't like that. But
Right.
using anything else, like, we see the mod as a soft modding of Scum. Basically, they made a program that could give players starter packages and everything else, which is a pretty interesting idea when you think about it. But does it affect us? No, technically no. But it is a cool idea that we've seen. Yeah.
Right.
I have one more question. Like it's like a lot in a single question. People on my chat are asking if there will be in the future agriculture. I like farm
Yeah,
system.
bots
No,
are
you can
being
plant
abused.
trees and food, and it will
I was gonna
be
say that, but
generator electricity in the game
Enderillo
in the
started
future
talking.
for the bases.
Yeah, in the future we have planned. I don't know if you've seen one of our development updates where we showcased an electric producing base element. It was basically like a mini windmill that had a battery attached to it. So electricity in that sense is coming, as well as agriculture.
So you
That's
can
nice.
really make your food the best that
Yeah.
possibly can be. You don't have to really go searching. You can go full vegetarian. You can go full homegrown. You can really play your cooking and agriculture as
That will
Not
be
to
great
mention
for
that.
people living in the
Yeah, sorry.
forest. People living in the
Uh,
woods. Like it will be great, you know.
I
Yeah.
also have a question towards the food related I got from my. Are you guys gonna add Ivar and Rakia and maybe some ketchup?
Oh yeah, I would love to see that.
I think there's an Aki in the game already. I don't know. Can somebody check?
No, what is it? Did not see. What is this?
Oh, damn. Never mind. But yeah, I would love to see Ivan in the game, definitely. And I think that's the type of questions we want. Those hard hitting questions, like if we're gonna add Ivar or Sarma or anything else that's local, basically.
Maybe bring Croatian cuisine closer to other people through the game. That would
Strukli,
be really cool.
Zagorski Strukli.
Yeah.
We gotta add that shit, man.
There's a lot more.
I mean, it's a pretty cool idea, definitely.
Yeah, I feel the
What
same way,
about
Rick. That's why
wolf
I don't really
packs
like using
and
them.
that Bigfoot looking monster? Like it's in the Scum comic or the Scum supporter pack thing. I remember this picture from a while back. It was like this Bigfoot thing. Is that still something you guys are considering?
All I'm gonna say is we are working on new AI threats.
Hmm.
That's all you're getting when it comes to that.
Okay.
I can't
We,
wait.
it's really special, and we gotta keep it secret.
Okay.
I have one more question. Will be any trade system in the future between players
Yes, you can, Flick. You
on
can throw while
online
being seated.
servers?
Yes, as Christian already mentioned, we plan to add more RPG elements to Scum, and trading will be one of those things. Like you can consider the basic form of trading would be you go up to a player, you select them, and then you go into a trading menu, and then you both have to accept the offer, and that's it. You're done.
That's kind of
Like
cool.
Yeah.
it could be one of those things. We're definitely gonna add it. It's just a matter of time.
Okay, that's nice.
I got a little
Yeah.
something I've been thinking about actually for a while. Like implementing like some kind of like hidden keys for certain locked doors on the island that you can only unlock with that key you find in the world, or and it's like a certain amount of time you have to use it. It could that be something like so that way I would give other players something else to look forward to. Okay, I found this key. Now I gotta go find the door to open it. It'll make people, kind of move around a little bit more.
I don't I don't know if you've noticed, but in certain bunkers there are doors that lead to nowhere. You
Mm,
can't interact with them, you can't open them, etc. And those doors were planned in the thinking of adding certain types of locks or keys that you can't enter without having those certain keys or key cards or whatever.
awesome, awesome.
That's nice.
And we can also tie it to missions in the future as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I also have a really weird question. Are there gonna be
I've
different
enough to
versions
do
of
on
the
one server.
dildos,
Yes,
different
that's
colors?
for sure. Soundwave.
and
With sparkles
and
and
not put.
everything.
Big shout out to everybody in the
and
stream. Thank you all so
a
much. We have
potato gun for it,
27
so you can
watching the
launch
stream. That is amazing.
Kevin,
I have
your chat
links
has the
down in
weirdest
the
fucking
description
questions, I swear
below
to
if
God.
you would like to go check it out. Of everybody
Yeah.
here.
Like I can see
I
the
appreciate
different colored
each and every
dildos
single one
happening,
of you.
but
It really
not
means
the
a lot.
potato gun, honestly.
And please share out the stream as much as possible. Get as
I
many
never
in here
actually
as
thought I'd say
possible.
the
That'd be
sentence I just
awesome.
did. We're planning dildo colors. Holy shit.
Role players first ask for tying, now they ask for other stuff or cages. Like, see where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
It's all coming together, as they would say.
The master plan.
Yeah, the master plan. You
Who
guys
had-
got any more questions?
Yes, in this topic, who had the
Yeah.
idea to bring the dildo to the game? Who was the genius behind this?
To who brought what?
The
Dildo.
dildo.
Oh, the dildo. I don't know. That was before our time, but whoever it was
This
one
needs to
horny
be hated.
motherfucker.
Okay.
I was gonna say probably one of our bosses, but yeah, now that you said this,
Need tater
Yeah,
gun?
not to
That's funny.
mention
That's
there's
something we
at
were
least-
talking about earlier.
Christian, how many dicks do you think are there in the office? I think more than 10 at least, right?
oof, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like we have a wide variety of dicks, from drawn dicks to chocolate dicks to rubber dicks to dildos, of course, and
Oh,
yeah,
man.
basically just a lot of dicks, apart from us, of course. Oh,
That's
Swoop
nice.
says that the Daria was
Imagine
the
the
one
fear
who
of
suggested it.
announcing AKA means are not
Diane, also
controlling
known
the
as Bunny
official
on forums.
servers.
Yeah, shout out to Bunny.
Mean Streak, welcome to the stream.
So you guys got any more questions?
Any more
I
questions?
got one more. So a lot of people have seen this
Break
the
it, you got any
currency in
more
game now, right?
questions?
The money, the 50 money, the 100 money.
Yeah.
Can you guys say anything
Those come-
a little more on that, or if you know what's planned for that, or is it a secret?
This was more of a test
That's a
to
good
see
one.
how the community would
See if there's any
react
mods
with the
coming to the
addition of
game.
money. Currently, they're worth like it's just basically to fill up your inventory, but it's good for RP servers to use as currency, for example, and to help them make an economy out of it. And one of the things that we have planned for the future, once we upgrade the money, like you'll be able to stack it, store it, and anything else. We want to separate
You're on
buying
a bot
lot
mod
of
rage
stuff
right now?
that you've been buying with fame points and exchange it with buying it with money. But there's a lot of balancing that we need to do before we can even start of thinking of adding that, and we want to
Recent
make it
lags are
so it's an
terrible.
actual economy and it works well with the game and with the environment as well.
To add on to that, this is a little bit of a test to see how different servers will handle the money, how the economy will grow, what will happen with the money, what will people do, what they will trade, so we can see how to improve on that and add more stuff.
I got
I love
one.
it.
Someone brought up, will there be any mods added to the game eventually?
You mean
The
like
game will
community
have
stuff?
mods after.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
After 1.0, most likely.
Okay. And another
Nice.
one, is there, I know it probably has something to do with optimization, I'm not sure, but they're talking about lag and lag spikes and stuff like that, because there are some places you get like really heavy lag spikes, or it's not just in the city.
Yeah, it's a streaming issue, and it's one of those things that we're constantly working on, and that's why we do optimization patches every now and then, because without them, it would be a lot worse. So
Right.
we're working on optimizations, but every new thing we add creates a lot more stress on the server, so we have to go back and optimize more stuff. It's just a never-ending circle.
Right, and
Since we're moving to the new Unreal Engine, the 424 version, expect some improvements for streaming and hopefully less stutters and less.
Exactly.
awesome. And what
So it
about
should
the
be coming
memory leaks? I apologize. What about the memory leaks? There's still something being thrown around about memory leaks still being in the game.
We've tried to reproduce this issue internally, but we couldn't, sadly. And it's one of those issues that's very PC specific. So it's extremely hard to reproduce unless we have a very similar or exact version of the PC that the person has reported. We believe it could be an issue, but without being able to reproduce it, it's just too hard to identify.
Yeah, they're
that
looking
single
into
issue.
that flick
Since
flack
it's
about
extremely
disabling.
PC
They've been in
specific.
contact with NVIDIA. All right.
Yeah. And any chance to put locks with safe codes on doors?
Yeah, we've already answered that questions. We
Okay.
plan to improve the whole lockpicking system and make it at least a little bit more fair towards the lockpicker and the protector of the loot as well. So we want to
They
have it
are
in a
being straight.
balance,
They've been
and we want
in
to have
contact with
more
them. They're
skill
trying to figure out
involved
how
in
there's a way to maybe get
protecting
rid of it.
your own base. Yeah.
And of course, you want to make it fun, so it's not just random clicking or quick time events. You want to have something that engages the player.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give
That's
them a
nice.
log file?
There's
know.
also a question about the whole lock picking. Sorry. Would there be able to maybe have like some traps on the doors, like if someone fails to lock pick, maybe have like some kind of Home Alone style traps when they walk in through the door? There's a paint bucket that hits you in the face or anything similar to that once they start lock picking.
Something that creative, like a paint bucket hanging from a rope, I personally doubt. But
Yeah, that was a fun podcast
bombs were
flick.
made to be that kind of, let's say, Home Alone deterrent, where they open a door and then blam. But we plan to add more defenses to bases to make them a bit safer than before. Yeah.
Cool.
John, I think you had a question.
Yeah, we did ask him about the filters, Zuna.
Can you guys
They
give
are
us
in-
a sneak peek of what's to come in the next patch, whenever that is?
All I can say is that we're making something special for next week for next patch. That's all I'm allowed to say.
Okay.
So it's gonna be yeah.
It's gonna be yeah.
It's gonna be yeah.
You guys are gonna have a nice laugh.
Yeah, you're gonna have a out of 10.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, we are very excited about what's coming. We just can't share it since it's so close. Trust me, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard considering what it is.
We really want to talk about it since it's so amazing, but
No.
we cannot.
No.
Yeah.
We gotta restrain ourselves for the better of the company.
I got a question about the mines. Are are there gonna be some
Yeah, they're
changes
looking
to
at
the
other
mines? Apparently,
weapons, Chris.
people have
And welcome to the
been
stream, by the way.
asking about like if it's gonna be harder to disarm them.
NK Space Force.
Apparently, it's a little bit easy to disarm a mine right now and just take the mine and like leave or put it back down. Is there gonna be maybe any kind of changes to that in the future?
Yeah, we do. We have gotten the feeling that disarming mines is a bit too easy, and that's why we've asked for feedback a couple of months ago from the community about bomb defusing minigame, and we actually have some ideas and concepts. We just need time to implement it, test it, and then give it out to the public. Don't throw that dildo at me. I see you holding it. Don't do it. Don't do it if you know what's good for you.
I have one more question. People are asking if you're gonna put log trolleys on the game to carry more logs to when you construct the base.
Threats outside different
Yeah, we plan to
areas,
add a
harder
tractor
monsters.
trolley.
Yeah, they're looking
So you can
into
carry
more AI.
primarily
They have
logs
something
and other items from
they brought
from
up
the
a little bit
forest to make
earlier.
the tractor
Like it's
a
gonna
bit more
be-
appealing of a
they're
vehicle,
excited
even
about
though
it,
it's
so
loud
I'm excited
and awesome.
about it.
We know that people mostly use cars to transfer logs, so if you don't have a car, you're kind of screwed when building a base. So we really want to make it easier for people, so you don't have to rely on the car so much.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
any chance to use it without vehicles, like carrying, just like pushing the log trolley on foot, not using a
Yeah.
vehicle?
Oh, yeah, you mean like a handheld trolley?
Yes.
Yeah, that's also one of the things. I believe we have the art for the trolley finished. We just need to implement the. We just need to program it for in order for it to work. Because
Nice
it's
to
one
hear.
of those things that you're probably gonna need to balance. Because if you don't have the enough balance or enough strength, you would tip over and your items would fall to the ground.
That is great.
Yeah, that's one of
Nice.
those things. You guys got any more questions from the chat?
I kind of got a
Any more
question,
questions,
though,
guys?
is that how do you feel like the development of the game has really progressed? Like since launch, do you feel
Okay,
like
I'll ask.
you got a little bit sidetracked with all the requests from the public? I know like base building wasn't originally planned in the
I got
game,
a good question
and
actually
I
as
bet that
well.
took a lot
Is
of
this
resources and time. How do you feel like it's gone from launch since today? Like, are you happy with the kind of progress you've been making with the game?
Well, definitely since release, 2019 was the biggest year for Scum, considering it was the first year. And I believe, especially since we've come a few months after launch, the game has improved significantly. I can still remember the first weeks we were there, and we were just thinking, "Oh my god!" Like, we knew the story behind it, so we were expecting
Oh
we were
no,
expecting it to be a lot
I
worse.
don't have Star
But it was
Citizen.
actually good then.
I
But
wish
now
I don't.
it's just amazing.
I wish I had it.
And I believe when we work on the metabolism system with that gets it in there and
It's an
some other
expensive
things,
game
the game is just gonna be
to play. I
fucking amazing.
don't have.
Since it was
I
the
wish.
QA's team
It looks like an
1 year
amazing
anniversary
game.
recently, it was really nice looking back on the past year and seeing all the things we added, the funny bugs we found, the adventures and everything. So yeah, I do believe it's been a great year for Scum, and it's going to be a great future as well.
And probably the highlight of the year was the sledge removal.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Oh yes.
I agree.
Sledge removal is the highlight of my year, and nothing is beat it. Honestly.
I got another question. In regarding to vehicles.
Yeah.
I know if you don't have the skill, you can't really, drive a vehicle too well. But could
Yeah.
there something else be a little bit implemented, like you need to find the fuel or the battery for these in particular vehicles in order to even, drive them? So that way
Yeah,
people
we-
couldn't be, vehicle hoarding and they can't drive it. They can't drive it.
Yeah, we've already answered that question, and basically
Oh.
what we plan is to have more car maintenance in a sense of, apart from fuel, you're gonna need to repair it, maybe get some parts, maybe a spark plug or a battery or wheels, etc. And that's gonna be one of those things that would prevent
That
car
would be
hoarding
awesome, Main Street.
and give more players a chance to actually have a vehicle. So
Awesome. Awesome.
We want to
Awesome.
make it harder for people to hoard vehicles. We have been noticing on official servers that some squads have hogged all the vehicles. You want to really make it hard. So if you have a vehicle, you have to cherish it and you have to work for it.
Exactly. So people that are vehicle hoarders are probably gonna hate us, but probably everyone else are are just gonna agree and try their best to get their hands on a vehicle. Because vehicles should be a luxury and not like a
I would
squad
love it.
having
I'm
20
sure.
vehicles inside of their walls and just sitting there and not doing anything.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So yeah, it's one of those things that we've actually
Are you
bumped
sure
up
you
in
don't have to do
priority in
that,
the last few
Soundwave?
months because especially since the beginning of this year, more and more developers apart from us have been playing the game and they've been
I definitely
noticing
will, though, Soundwave.
a lot more
Mean streak,
issues
thank
that
you.
the community have been having troubles with for months, and that's why they're bumping up the priorities even more. And one thing is very good, and I don't think a lot of game companies have this, is our two main people, our game director and our technical director, play the game outside of work almost on a daily basis. So they actually have established communities on some servers, and they play the game so they really know how it feels like more than others. And it's really important that those two people, the two people that control the vision of the game, to be playing on official servers and feeling the game how the players feel.
Awesome.
So yeah, yeah.
A weird question though. Is there anything like your developers would like to implement, but that feels like it's a little bit too hard or like something that you really would like in the game, but you don't really have time to implement it, kind of? Is there any sort of item or any feature you would like to see personally?
Ooh, that's actually a really good question. And I believe the most logical answer would be anything related to fire. Because fire is extremely heavy in any engine that you might try and use, especially if there's like fire spreading mechanics and burning mechanics, etc. It's hard for the server to keep everything written down. So I think fire would be one of those things that would be extremely interesting and one of those things that we would like to implement, but just would take a lot of time
Like
for
flaming
it to,
arrows.
yeah, flaming arrows, molotovs, etc. Like making them optimized enough so they don't make trouble when it comes to performance, and make them so, since we want the game to be more realistic than not, like burn damage and burn certain things, like maybe burn a tree, maybe burn a bush or something, and that the server actually remembers it the way.
So Dino is a pyro, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I myself am really looking forward to more of the survivals and RPG elements, as I've said before. So first thing, cooking, metabolism, and then new skills. And I really would like to see that you can have all your attributes on 5 out of 5, and you can have all skills maxed. I'm the type of player who really wants to max out his character while playing. So yeah, more RPG elements and survival things.
Yeah. Not to mention, one of the things that I'm excited about is the addition of Advanced Plus attributes. Well, I mean, they're already in the game, but you don't get anything special from them. And I want to reward those players that have put in the time to actually level up their skills to Advanced Plus and have them rewarded for actually achieving that and getting some extra goodies for hitting that level.
Can you summon your own
Well, people
incubus?
here are asking one more thing about the vehicles, and they're asking if is it possible to have a vehicle that you craft like an improvised vehicle, like bicycles and something like this. If you are in a server with big groups, having all the cars, and you can craft a small vehicle. Is it
So
possible?
basically, yeah, it's one of those things we've discussed when wanted to implement the bike. As far as I know, there's been plans for an improvised bike, and I do believe we have the model, but I'm not 100%
Poco!
sure.
What's up, brother?
But yeah, I'm one of the advocates for improvised bikes because
Awesome.
it just relieves some of that annoying running around the map without a vehicle and getting from point A to point B
Mm-hmm.
really slow. instead of just like visiting a workshop, grabbing some tires, some metal, and then a few bolts, and then just scrambling yourself a bike. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like a mini bike, something like this would be awesome. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So if you guys don't have any more questions, we can move on to the random part of the stream, if you want.
Yeah,
Let's
sounds
do it.
good.
That's all good, man.
Any more game-related questions?
Uh, oh yeah, when you check the time, you need to drop all your clothes or your jackets to see.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. The thing about it is, and I think we can talk about that, is
Hmm.
the watch wasn't planned before clothes were implemented, so it made it extra difficult to fix that because the watch wasn't planned at all, and we needed to work around it. And sadly, yeah, most clothes that go down to your wrist, you can't see the watch.
Okay.
I got a couple more questions about
Yeah, sure.
more like hairstyles or more types of different clothes, like civilian clothes, or be able to change the color of your hair, or maybe customize your face, or it's just so not every character, you know, kind of looks the same. You know what I mean? Customize certain body features in the customization, like when you start your character, like hair color, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Christian, do you know something more about that? I believe they mentioned some sliders and stuff in the future.
Yeah, we would like to implement lots of sliders for, especially for settings and things, so you can really detailedly put your game to as you want it. So it's not like just click epic, high, medium, and low. So you can really pinpoint how you want to set it up.
Cool, cool. And they're
Yeah,
also
but I meant more with character creation.
right, right.
As well, yeah. So
And
not
they're-
just click left, click right. It's more detail. Something like you can do with the muscular, fit, and skinny. So you can really put it exactly where you want it.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
And they're also asking for more animations. They love the animations. Everyone wants more animations. Is that possible?
Yeah, of course. It's of course gonna be possible. It's just one of those things we pride ourselves on and want to get them as perfect as possible, and so they look neat and realistic. For example, the log carrying animation was really interesting because we needed to simulate weight, and when we recorded it in our mock-up setup, it was very difficult trying to simulate weight of actually picking up a log. But yeah, our animations take a lot of time because we put a lot of work into them and put like minor details in that a lot of people won't notice, but the people that do notice will appreciate the work.
Awesome.
And it's also really fun to watch them being made in the office.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah, I also had a question about. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No
I also had a
NPCs and
question
real
about the
missions too.
hairstyles. Like, when are we gonna see like my hairstyle? You know, I got the whole psychotic hairstyle with the
You mean the
love
crazy clown
handles
haircut?
and everything. Yeah, I think like that would be a great addition to the game. Like, you could run around like a little psychotic mini kamikaze.
Hey, you can be
Uh,
kamikaze. There you go.
Okay, exactly. What
uh,
he meant.
And also, like, I had actually a question is some people actually would like to see more different tiers to the supporter
Thank you, Chuck. I
in a
really
ways
appreciate that.
addition to like give
Spike
you guys
Kiss,
a little bit more
Antihero, thank you
support
so much for
and
stopping in. I
give
really
you
appreciate it.
cosmetic items, maybe like, you know, right now you have just the supporter pack, but would there be possibility to add maybe like 3 different kind of supporter packs so people could like choose between them in the future? For like right now we have the GameSpire's t-shirt, the black t-shirt,
Prison
and
wallet.
we
Prison
can
wallet.
poop out a purple dildo. Basically, what people been asking is, are there gonna be any more available to support you guys, like money wise, to support the development? Really,
You mean
I
skins?
can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk. I need your permission to help.
different kind of t-shirts that spawn in with, like, we currently have the supporter pack right now, but different kind of t-shirts maybe.
Yeah, I'm not too into our financials, but I don't believe require more money than we have now. Well, of course, more money is always good,
Yeah, I was
but
just
we
about
don't.
to say.
Yeah, but we don't wanna like we would rather add more stuff to the supporter pack that's existing now, and so more people would like to buy it to support us more than adding another supporter pack just for the excuse give us more money.
It would also kind of divide people. Oh, you have this supporter pack, or you have this one and don't have the other one. We really want to have all those people are supporting us in like one little group.
Exactly, and my personal thought, this doesn't reflect what the firm thinks, but my personal thoughts is I would like to stay with one supporter pack as possible, and would like to keep it anything new that we add to the DLC store. I would love to see consist of mostly new downloadable content, more like missions, and maybe put in some special outfits and skins, but that's just after development and mostly, and of course 100%
Yeah, I
cosmetic.
apologize,
But
Zach.
while we're still in
Welcome,
development,
by
we
the way.
have this supporter pack and people can use it to support us, and we want to thank those people by giving them more items through time, but also entice new people by adding new items as well. And I hope that answers your question.
Then
Yes, pretty happy with that answer.
I got 3 questions, and that's it from me.
Oh man.
There should be, because we covered a lot of it. So we've talked about animations before. Someone in my chat asked. So newly implemented limping system was implemented a few months ago. With the new
Thank
metabolism
you so much,
medical,
Chris G. I appreciate that.
with the new medical and
Sorry about
metabolism
that.
feature. No problem. Is there going to be more, limping or injury or sickness animations coming along? Is that something you guys are discussing? That's the first question. Second question is more base rating tools like explosive ammo and time C4. And the third question is sex animations, and these are not my questions. This is chat's questions.
All
Just
right,
want to
all
put it
right.
out there.
Eyes.
Not my
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, definitely. You're asking for a friend, right?
Yeah, okay, of
But yeah,
course.
with regards to the first question, I don't believe they're filmed yet. But it's one of those things, like as I've said, like carrying your teammates and maybe carrying stunned prisoners is going to be a thing in the future that we're going to add. So that's going to require more animations, and definitely with the medical system, I'm 100% sure that we're going to add new animations for healing yourself and applying, uh, not applying, but taking pills. So that's going to be one of those, I believe. And when it comes to the base rating, I don't think we've mentioned any explosive rounds, right, Christian?
Not that I know so far, but I can always ask around next week.
Yeah. And the last question, I'm gonna abstain from answering this, if you don't mind.
I believe that's a hard no for now.
Hmm.
I didn't want to ask
Everything
if
is
this.
always hard with you, Christian.
I got one question. How
Yeah.
about, is there any plans actually for the currency that was, it was accidentally kind of put into the game?
Yeah, we've already answered that question,
Oh, I
and the
missed it.
plan is to
Apologize.
replace some. Yeah, and basically what I said for the people that might have not have heard it is the money system is gonna be currently it's implemented just to experiment to see how the community would handle it, and then later on we can replace some of the costs for fame points with money, and then the end goal is to make a fully functioning economy for a server.
Awesome.
Yeah. You guys got any more questions or?
Yeah, I would like to add to the question regarding of limping and the new animations. We also want to gather some feedback on how you guys like the limping and the negative sides of it. Maybe we add some similar things to the future. So if you get shot in the head or in your ass or somewhere, you have different things that you have to worry about.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
part of the question. Like, if you get shot in the arm, would you be, you won't be able to hold an M16. You can only hold a handgun, things like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things I would personally like to see implemented.
Yeah.
Definitely. But then it should be definitely harder to heal from that type of wound, and then you have to heal and then wait for it to recover and then start using it.
I would like to see something like tripping and falling. You know, like how the puppets they trip and fall when they jump off of a rock or something when they're chasing you. Something like that. If you're running from somebody, you know, like and there's a log laying down right there, maybe you'll trip over it and you'll have to get up,
Yeah,
you know,
but
to
only if
continue
you're
running.
drunk.
Well,
Because if you're a prisoner fighting for your life, you're not trip and fall, that's for sure. But yeah, probably something we could add about if you're drunk. But having prisoners in a ragdoll state is very dangerous, so we try to avoid it as much as possible.
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you guys want, we can move on to the random shit section where we just talk about whatever. For example, like Jon Blaze, what started you with streaming? How did you get into it?
I discovered Twitch 2 years ago. My uncle was streaming. I've always been into video games, Game Boy, Sega Genesis, all that stuff. And he was streaming on Twitch, Jackbox Party, which is like this little community game. And he told me to download the app. I was like, "What the hell is this?" I downloaded it, and started browsing through, watching other streamers, and like I had no idea about streaming and content creating, and I just fell in love with it. The next week, I had an Xbox One original. I ran to GameStop. I bought an Xbox Connect. I used the Xbox Connect as my webcam for the first 6 months.
Wow.
And yeah, I just fell in love with it, chatting and yeah, just playing video games.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
What about you, Cammy?
For me, it was like I used to run a lot of gaming communities. I love bringing gamers together, basically. And one of the reasons I actually kind of started streaming
Thank you, Mean
was
Streak.
so we could bring in more people to one place, have several different games. Whatever you play, you basically everyone is welcome. And I think that's when I kind of fell in love with streaming, really, because you meet so many awesome people on Twitch. Like the community for Scum is absolutely amazing as well. They're all very helpful when it comes to like new people coming into the chat. Like, how do I do that? Oh, you just do it like this and that. And like, it's kind of nice to see the community growing that way. It's absolutely amazing. And that's kind of when I couldn't stop streaming.
Wow, I'm really impressed. I really like your story with bringing people together, and I do agree with you that our community, in particular, at least from what I've seen, is one of the better ones, in my personal opinion,
I agree.
because between like other games, our core audience is more mature than the rest, since
Very true.
older people enjoy these type of hardcore
Got you, Flick.
simulation games more than the younger audience. So
Mm-hmm.
the audience is pretty mature and know how to behave and actually be interactive and support each other because they know how hard
Here's
it
more
is
cowbell.
making it in the world,
You are right.
and they want to support you with everything you have. So
Yeah,
that's one of
absolutely.
the
That's
More
true.
Like,
yeah,
cowbell. Just for
like
you,
I,
that's one
Soundblade.
of the best
I
things
I
about the
played a
community.
lot of different games and streamed a lot of different games, but I think like the best audience I ever had was streaming this game, actually, Scum. Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing community.
Yeah, and every time the one thing about I love about this community of streamers in general, I can pop into any streamer's chat and recognize multiple people, which is awesome. And most of the people are either regulars of that streamer or they're regulars in multiple streamers channels, and it's just awesome just to see the amount of love and support uh, shared through our community. So, Andarijo, how
Yes.
about you? How did you start streaming?
Well, I started on YouTube
Gotta
5
love
years
that cowbell.
ago. I was making videos and then started streaming. And I felt different from the videos because when you stream, you can have the close contact with people, much more close than the comments section on YouTube. and then I start, and it's like I treat them like friends. They are friends for me, for me. So streaming is a part of my life now, and the day I do not do the live stream, I miss it like it's like something's missing.
Yeah.
It's don't let my wife know this, okay? Uh, so this is very important because it makes like my this is my work now, and it's very important to make it good and make the people feel good interacting in view in the game. And Scum, I've been
That's
streaming
very
Scum
true,
for like
Strongly.
almost this year will be 2 years of streaming Scum. And the community, my community, they are from Brazil and Portugal. It's Portuguese language, and they are very curious about the game. They are very they are playing a lot the game. I don't know the numbers, but I noticed a lot of Brazilians and Portuguese playing this Scum. Man, this is great for me because it's very it's like a passion, no, to do it. Like it's like something you mixed work and love. It's very good. It's great. It's a great job.
Yeah, I understand. And I appreciate you coming along, even though you're scared about English not being your first
Oh,
language. You don't have to
yes.
worry about that.
I'm sorry by my mistakes, guys, because
No problem. Come on,
I
dude.
need
Like,
some oil on my English
oil in
engines.
your mouth. Come on, four out of the six people are European, so English is not our primary language. So you're good, man. It's all right. But
That's
Hey,
yeah,
very
I
good.
want to
Grumpy.
thank you for coming out and for bringing the community, the Portuguese community, closer with us by coming here, answering questions, and being interactive with the chat as well. So I would like to thank you on that.
No
And
problem,
yeah,
man.
so,
I thank you
so
the
Dream
invite.
Reaper, how did you start?
Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. Well, at first I started watching YouTube. I didn't really know about Scum, and I fell into it watching Break It, and I started following it more, and really liked the game. Bought the game on my PC, my little crappy HP Office PC. Played it, with 10, 17 FPS. Fell in love with it, and I just, and then I saw Break It and like how much fun he was having streaming it. Ended up getting me a really good PC, and been building it up, and I started streaming, and I loved it ever since. And with an amazing game like this, and the community, and then it's almost like a dream come true in a way. It's an amazing. This game is what brought me to where I am now. Um, if it wasn't for Scum, I probably would not be on PC at all. Like this is the game that brought me streaming. It brought me where I am, and Rick, it was kind of my encouragement in a way because I saw that he was enjoying it. He was having fun, and that's what kind of pushed me to stream my content in Scum and helping the game grow and get more players, and trying to put my support out for the game in the best way that I possibly could.
Yeah, and as one gamer to another, we appreciate you being part of this community. Not to mention not just the Scum community, but the PC community, because PC Master Race. Just joking. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to me, I play everything. I mostly have the PlayStation just for the exclusives. So yeah.
Right.
I was gonna ask, what did you, how did you guys start playing survival games? I know there are people who only
Mhm.
play sports game, people only play racing games, and only people who play shooters. Why do you guys like survival games so
Mhm.
much? What was the thing that brought you to this genre?
Well, this is one of those
Let
games. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, start with Dream Reap. Let's go around.
All right. Well, this is one of those games that, you know, it's one of those games that I've been looking for in a way my whole life. It's not Grand Theft Auto. You can you can do what you want. You create your own adventure. You create your own content. You can. There's no guided anything in the game to help you beat a game or beat it or whatever. You can do it. There's no limit to the game for me. You know what I mean? There's no end game,
Yeah.
which I love that. I love that
Yes.
feature. You know, you can pretty much do what you want. Use the land, you know, for as your resources. You know, I love that fact about it. That you can search things and explore a map and, you know, run into other players and, you know, play with other players. It's amazing and just have fun. You know.
What about you, Kamikaze?
For me, I think it started with the Daisy mod. Really,
Fire-breathing
I kind of
dragons!
started watching YouTube videos of
That
Frankie
would be
on PC,
dope.
and after I started playing a little bit with my friends, and the feeling you get when you walk around, basically be
I will be
constantly
right back, folks.
having this fear. You get the adrenaline surge as someone starts shooting at you, and like the feeling of constant fear, kind of is what I enjoy mostly about these games. It keeps flowing, you know, anything can happen. It's not linear. Anything can happen. You have to adapt to every situation, compared to, like, you know, normal MMOs and such. You basically do a dungeon the same way. There's always a meta. In these kind of survival games, you can't really stick to one gameplay. You have to adapt constantly, and that's what I just love about it.
Yeah, great answer. What about you, John?
This was actually my first survival game that I ever
Wow.
played. I switched to PC gaming about a year ago. No, a year and a half ago. Maybe about a month or two before this game released. And my first three games that I bought on PC was CS:GO. I downloaded RuneScape, and this game came out. It was the first release. I was watching Dr. Disrespect play, and I was like, I gotta download this game. This looks cool. And yeah, just loaded in. Within the first half an hour, mind you, I'm still learning the key binds, how to
Simulator
walk,
Dave,
use W,
welcome
right?
and thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that.
KOS
We're gonna get some cowboy
two
here.
times. I random spawn. I spawned by the wall. I'm running to the wall because I'm thinking it looks really cool, not knowing that you're not supposed to be near the wall. I die again. And I tell myself, I said, okay, if I die one more time, I'm not playing this game no more. I random respawn, and I run into a group of about 6 people in this open field, and I said, these guys are gonna kill me. And they run up to me. They're talking to me in voice comms,
That's
and they take me underneath their wing. They show
Soundwave.
me how to craft a book bag.
You
They
fly
show me
the
how to
drone. You
craft
love your
a
drone. That's the
spear,
thing.
an axe.
You like to fly.
And I never looked back since. I just, you know, if it wasn't for those group of guys that you know, took me in and showed me everything, and you know, I probably wouldn't even be sitting here. So that was you know, my first survival game, and my first experience with a survival game.
Well, then big shout out to those guys. So, and yeah, Andariho?
Yeah, man, I played this genre, survival genre, for like many years. I began my channel with playing games like survival games. I like the fact that, like Dream Reaper said, you can. It's a mix of history. You are free to do whatever you want. You are free to go wherever you want, and you have to fight to survive. You have to fight to drink, to eat, and fight against players or zombies or puppets. And you can play single player games like solo mode. You have to take care about and have to construct bases. These elements,
Yeah, I
for
hear you,
me, it's
Soundwave.
very interesting in the game.
It's probably
So
different.
like basically you are free to do whatever you want, but you have to survive.
Thank you,
You
Chuck. I
cannot just
appreciate that.
relax.
I really
You are
do.
always with that tension. Like, I'm gonna be attacked. I'm gonna I need to protect myself. I need to find food,
Okay,
find
Mag.
water. I
No
need to
worries.
defend my base, my friends, or my car or something. This is very good, man. I like this. This bring some instincts, like animal instincts on us.
Great answers, great answers. What about you, Dino? We don't want to skip you either. Did you play survival games before you started working here?
I tried some survival games. I tried DayZ when it was still in beta, I believe. I tried, well, Minecraft, of course, counts because Minecraft is the best survival game there is after Scum, of course. I I've had I have multiple survival games, but I've never touched them. I played Rust as well with my friend, but since Rust has a huge disparity of skill between
Speaking
players,
dog.
so you enter a server and you can encounter a person with 4,000 hours, and me being the play by am with less than an hour, I
I
got
ran
killed
into
at least
Spider in the
5
city
times within
today,
an
or
hour.
last night.
So yeah,
Right, Kid?
but
I,
apart from that,
saying
I
hello. I saw
wasn't
him
too
on a
big on the
TV.
survival genre.
That was awesome.
Did any of you maybe watched any zombie movies, read any zombie books or survival books, and then said, "Oh, maybe there were some survival games that I could play"?
You know, honestly, I've
Um,
never really been a
Yes,
big
yes.
zombie fan, and you know, I don't really consider these puppet zombies. They're more, puppets, but they kind of act like them. But I don't know, no.
I mean, I read Goosebumps books when I was like 8, but
Yeah, I watched Walking Dead and
you
like stuff like this. I
Roblox
really
cake.
like this apocalypse theme. So it certainly, yes, man, makes me like the game more, or the genre, survival genre.
For me, I'm a huge zombie fan. I love B movies and all kind of zombie movies. And like the first thing I thought about this game though,
Yeah, Resident Evil. I
I'm not
did
sure
like the. I do
if
like
the
Resident
inspiration
Evil.
actually came from that one movie, Condemned. Basically similar kind of setup, except without zombies. I don't
I
know if you
agree.
guys seen it. The
I agree.
TV show
No,
with the
What's it
basically
called?
similar story. The Condemned.
Never heard of it.
Great movie.
Yeah. But yeah, what I wanted to ask you guys from a personal perspective, how do you guys see us as developers? If you could like describe us in a couple of words, like what would those
hmm
words be? Because I'm just like generally curious. Okay, Cammy, go.
For me, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
the interaction I had with a lot of
Exactly.
you has been amazing. Like we can always
That's what it
talk,
is.
and
I need
we
some
play
of
games
those.
time
Can
to
I
time
get some?
together, and like the interaction I had with you guys has been one of the best interactions I ever had with any kind of development. Like I played a lot of games and I tried to interact with the devs, give suggestions and etc. But it is never been as
I
great
know.
as you guys.
They
In
kind
my
of
book,
they
you're
kind of got us
definitely
on
one of the better
a
developers
schedule.
out there, and I wish like a lot of developers would actually like follow you guys, like how you interact with everyone on Twitter, Steam, like everywhere you talk with us personally, and I think it's absolutely amazing.
Okay, Johnny.
yeah,
the first word that comes to my mind is real. You guys are very real, down to earth, and genuine people. Talking to you guys, in the streams, outside the streams, part of the community. Just you could tell you get that vibe from it. I remember Dino when Halo. This is totally not Scum game, but when Halo released on PC for the first time, me and you were gaming. You're like, yo, let's hop on
Yeah.
and get some matches in. I said,
I
oh
will.
shit, man, Scum Dev. That was like
I
my
will, Rick.
first time thinking like, wow, these guys are really genuine good people, and they care about the game, but they care more about the community, and just being friends with the people in the community. So that was my impression on with y'all.
yeah,
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 and
yeah.
I've never touched Halo since.
I played about 20 minutes and then I'm getting wrecked and I just shut it off. Like I got a 20-minute time limit with Halo and then I stopped enjoying it. So
Yeah, I can see myself playing it again, but I'm too hooked on The Witcher 3 and Divinity Original 2. So yeah.
what about that
But
Yeah.
Working game? That
Volson, yeah,
Wolfson,
it was
yes.
it was too buggy for me to actually enjoy it because the first few days we couldn't connect to the servers, but I get it. Launches are difficult, especially for indie devs. And if you would guess how many people made that game, how many people would you say, based on the quality and everything?
At least 10.
Well, yeah, 13. But
Okay,
yeah, can
okay.
you imagine the scope of the game and it being made by only 13 people? And they had a bigger release than Scum did, so they
Wow.
handled it as best they could. they had like exploits where you could have infinite money, infinite skills, infinite loot. So
Yeah,
yeah, I feel for them. I definitely feel for them. But yeah, to go back to to your answer about community. Yeah, I'm really glad. Like, one thing is it's part of our culture. Based on our culture, we are very real people, and we try to handle problems head on instead of finding ways around them. And we try to get things done, and that's why we decided to be more open and more real with our community, because especially in early access, especially with such a huge scope of a project as Scum is,
See it.
being realistic and being open with our community is one of those things that makes us stand out, apart from making the game as realistic as possible. So our goal is to keep the community as tight as possible while it's still under our control, because until then we can make a lot of friends, a lot of people. Like, I don't know a single dev that doesn't have at least one person they're talking with on a daily basis because of Scum and
Yeah.
because of the community and everything. And people see that we're approachable, that they can talk with us about anything, and they can expect the most support that we can give at that given time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're extremely grateful for it.
That was what I'm going to talk because you guys are doing a great job. You are always listening to the what we have to say since the beginning, and this is great because not all the devs, not all the games listen to the community like you are doing, and this is great. And I hope this will continue because you are creating the game based on what people are suggesting, and you are giving us the best you can do. I know this. This is great, man, and I like you because
Mm-hmm.
this for me being approachable, like being listen to the community, is the best to a game to have a great future. No.
Yeah, and I'm glad you see it that way. And Dream Reaper,
Well, I look at it this way: you guys are definitely very community driven, and hardworking. And you want the best for the game, and for you guys to have me here, to me, it's like it's a dream come true. Um, because it's just amazing. You know what I mean? You guys want the best for the game, and you want to listen to all different ideas, and make the best of what you can with this game. See it grow, and I think that's an amazing thing that you want to hear the feedback. You know what I mean? You guys want to see this game build and get far. You don't want it to be another dead game out there. But you guys are very
exactly.
passionate about it, which I think it keeps me playing Scum, because the devs don't give up on it. You know what I mean? You guys don't want to put in certain things, wait a couple months, finally an update. You know what I mean? You want to keep going and go further with the game and see it grow and build, and the community grow and build. And I think that's an amazing thing.
Yeah, and as I've said, like, our approach is purely out of love for the game, and anything we do, we try to do to make the game better. And like before, like the most recent issue we've had was with the
I'm down, Flick.
inventory rework, when we reworked the size of the guns, and people responded negatively to that, and we listened and we fixed it as soon as possible. And that's why I'm really glad we managed to switch patches from Fridays to Tuesdays or Thursdays, because you won't, if ideally you will never ever have a broken patch for longer than 24 hours, because either we release a patch on Tuesday or on Thursday, we still have the whole next day to fix everything, and if situation require it, go into the weekend to fix everything that was wrong with the patch.
which I thought that was
That's
great
great.
when you guys did that with the Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I don't want anyone that's watching this to forget that there's been several times with a patch released on Friday, you guys are in the office, whether it's your work day or not, your day off, bright and early that Saturday morning, and coming out with hot fixes and patches. So thank you to
Nice,
you
right?
guys for that. Let's not forget that as well, that you guys have done that in the past.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. And I mean, trust me when I tell you that no one is more sad or angry or furious than us when something goes out into the patch broken, because it's one of those things where you feel like you could have prevented it, but it just slipped through and there was nothing you could do about it. So it's part of our jobs to, if it's that huge of an issue to our community, we're gonna do our best to fix it as soon as possible, so they don't have to suffer, and then we don't have to suffer because our community isn't suffering.
Soundwave.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also just one thing I like to add. Like, when I saw the announcement about this podcast, I noticed some people actually got a little bit upset, like, "Oh, you should be working on the game instead." And I just want to say, like, right now, you guys are actually off hour, right? You're not at the office. You're doing this from home, and this is something like you're doing on your off hour.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so like I just want to get that out there so people actually know you guys are actually, like, even though you're not at work, you're basically working on the game. You're trying to get it like out with the questions for the community, like bring everyone
Yeah,
closer.
the
I just
katana
want to
was
get that
the
out so
katana's
people don't
nasty.
mistake this like for you guys being at work right now. You actually doing this on your own free time, which
Mhm.
I think is absolutely great.
Yeah, and thank you so much, and we appreciate your support and everybody else's support, and you guys for coming, and it really means a lot to us, especially considering you're taking out your time and your possible personal streaming time where you would probably like go with your community and maybe earn some money, but you coming out here spending your time with us also means a lot.
Thank
So
you
yeah.
for the.
Oh yeah, no, I'd want to definitely thank you guys. Thank you for having us. It really means a
Yes.
lot to me. You know what I mean? Like I was saying before, it's kind of like a dream come true to hang out with developers of a video game. It's for me, it's amazing. It's something that I never would have thought is possible for me or was possible, and you guys fulfilled that, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
it's those things and those words that really hit us in the hearts, especially when we read a nice post on the forums, or maybe a very
No,
nicely
they're not.
written review. Like, those positive comments reinforce us about the best of our community, and that we're developing this game for them, and that's what motivates us even more to develop the best survival game there is, and that's
Oh,
because of the community like you.
Rocklet.
Because you have to have patience with us, and that's true, because the scope of the game that we're working on is just so insane, and the amount of patience and support the community has shown ever since release is amazing. And I'm sending love to everybody in the chat that joined up, to all of you streamers as well, and Christian for being my associate in this endeavor for the
I
first
agree,
podcast.
Reika.
So as a last goodbye, I want each and every one of you guys, in order, starting from Dreamweaver, to like take 15, 30 seconds to shout out anything you want, your social media, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely like to give a huge shout out to the devs and everybody, KmZKaMiKaZe, Jon Blaze and Andariho for being here. It's an amazing, and I want to give a huge shout out to Rakit in the stream, and everybody else in the stream. Soundwave, you guys are awesome. Killmore, Rakit apologized that he couldn't make it. He had to work,
Yeah,
but
sadly.
a huge shout out to everybody, and I want to thank everybody for coming, and also to everybody else on the other streamers chat. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Okay, where can people find you?
Dream Reaper Gaming on YouTube.
Okay, Kamikaze.
Yeah, I usually stream Monday to Friday from 5 to 11 p.m. Basically, you can find me on Twitch. I like
Next time,
to play with
of
everyone.
course,
You're more
Reiki.
than welcome to come and play with me anytime. I do
Oh,
have
you
my
don't have
own
to retrack
server.
Killmore.
I like to just have fun with all of you. I appreciate everyone that always comes in and chats me up. because I love you
I
guys.
wish I could shout
Yeah,
out
this Scum
everybody.
community, I
You know
love
what I
you.
mean?
You're
There's so many of
amazing.
you guys in here.
And stay awesome.
You know,
sauce.
I wish I can shout
Hell
out
yeah,
everybody.
Jon Blaze.
Definitely.
First off, thank you guys, Dino and Christian, for inviting me here. I'm very grateful and honored to be here, especially for the first Scum podcast. It's something to look back on from a year from now. You guys can find me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, Jon Blaze Live, and also on YouTube, Jon Blaze, where we have Scum content and other content as well. And yeah, thank you guys.
And last but not least, Andariho.
Thank you for the invitation, Dino. Thank you for the game you're doing. And you can find me on Twitch as well and YouTube. It's Andarilho. It's in Portuguese. It's Andarilho. And you can check me on Twitter, Instagram as well. And once again, thank you for the invitation, guys.
Okay, and Christian, would you say any last words before the end of the stream?
Yeah, I would really like to thank all of you coming here for the first Scumcast. It's been really great to talk with you guys and hear your opinions and what you want to see. We're definitely gonna make some more of these with different people, and yeah, I can't wait to see more Scumcasts and more opinions, and definitely be ready for some more cool content in the future. Thank you all for coming.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I would like to thank everyone again for joining. This has been the first episode of the Scumcast. Expect a few more, at least in the future, because this is very interesting. We've gained some very insightful knowledge today, and hopefully we will grow the community and bring the community closer together. So I hope everybody has a good evening, and see you in the next Scumcast. Bye bye.
Hey, GG's, guys.
GG's, that was awesome.
That was awesome, guys. My first podcast as well.
Mine
Yeah,
as well.
That went good, man. That went great. I'm happy. That was a lot of insight, man. The sure everyone else's chat was happy about that. So
Yeah,
it's a
definitely.
GG right there, man.
Yeah, man. GG.
It's really weird doing a podcast as someone who's been listening to quite some podcasts and Dino as well. It's really like it's different to be on the other side.
It's completely different. Yeah. Yes.
All right, everybody, I am going to end the stream right here. I will be back with another stream. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, until next time, peace.
I got that shit beat out of me pretty quickly.
I think everything went as natural and great as it could be, man. I don't think it could have went any better, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a nice
And-
conversation.
Yeah, and I'm definitely glad I decided to implement some guidelines because, of course, this is basically almost everyone's first experience with a podcast, and mine organizing it as
Thank
well.
you all,
so
guys.
it was pretty
I really appreciate it. I know
stressful
we're
and
back.
difficult, but setting aside those guidelines
And,
and making kind of a structure to the stream, I believe, really helped.
I don't know what's going
And
to
we're
come out of
actually
it. So,
within time frame, like 10
I don't
minutes
want to know.
before
I don't know if too much
the
is going to
initial
come
plan,
out.
which
So
is
I
very good.
definitely have to
I'd rather
end
there
the
be
stream.
10 minutes less than
Thank you so
20
much,
minutes
Ray K.
more
Thank you all
of
so much
unnecessary
for
content.
stopping in.
And I feel
really
like
appreciate
everything
it.
was